Greetings, and once again, welcome to another podcast from the Heart of the Witch's Path. I'm your co-host, Helen.
And I'm Kathy.
Welcome again. We are on episode
114.
114.
Ooh.
I feel like we're on a roll.
I think we are.
I like it. I like it a lot. So today, folks, we are going to continue our 77 witch tag. And we've got our correspondence of the episode. We've got that coming up. Do we want to discuss? We actually have a plan, and I'm kind of excited.
We do, for the end of the year.
We have a plan for the rest of the year.
Wow.
Can you believe this?
No, I can't.
I can't believe that we've done it this long.
Yes.
A. B, we're coming to the end of our first year.
Season, year,
yeah, right.
Whatever.
C, we have a plan.
We have a plan.
For four podcasts.
I know. So we're going to work on the 77 questions today and the next podcast.
Yep, we should finish up the questions at the next podcast. And then from there
we talk about Yule, because Yule is coming up.
That will be our big Yule episode.
I wanted to say issue. Oh, wow. And then we have this huge plan for our end of the year episode. Helen, would you like to share our end of the year?
It's top secret.
Top secret.
It's top secret.
Okay.
Shh. Just know that it'll be big.
And it might even be longer than half an hour. You don't know.
Oh, whoa. You just upped the game.
I did.
Holy cow. Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so episode 114, continuing the 77 questions. What is our correspondence of the day, Helen Marie?
Today our correspondence of the day. Wow, that was bad. Sorry, guys.
We don't sing.
Let me know if you'd rather have me find a little jingle for that, because
I think we need a jingle.
I think I would much prefer that.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we're going to talk about a rune today.
Right.
Runes are awesome.
They are.
I'm liking runes a lot. Kathy's liked runes for a long time.
Yes.
So Kathy pulled one. This is the rune of the day. People, this is your rune of the day. I feel very much like Arwen doing a tarot scope. So Arwen, thank you. Hello out there. So Kathy pulled Radho. For those of you unfamiliar with runes, that is the one that looks like an R.
Right. Coincidentally.
It's part of the first set of the Elder Futhark, the first 8. Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell the folks what it means?
Sure. Radho means to ride. It is the rune that corresponds with movement or travel, spiritual travel, or physical journey.
So I'm gonna write that in my journal today.
Sure.
So that's gonna be, you know what? Strangely enough, we are taking a journey today.
We are taking a journey, yes. We're journeying through the original Star Wars movies after we get done with this podcast.
Yes.
We're in preparation for the new movies.
Kathy's house is movie marathon central. Yep. And so we...
and Randy's got surround sound working.
Oh man,
It'll be awesome.
Yep. So we're gonna take a journey today. So that is applicable
to us. Galaxy far, far away.
Right. So this would be Sunday, November the 15th.
Yes.
So it's opening day.
Yes.
So if you listen to the podcasts and if you take a journey today as well, then we want to know about it.
Right.
We want to know what your journey was.
Sure.
So comment below. So that was the correspondence of the day. We're very happy to bring that to you with the kind help of no sponsor.
Because nobody loves us
It's just us.
Just us.
So,
all right, so let's move on to the questions.
So we're picking up with number 46.
46.
That's right.
All right.
So number 46.
Oh, dude, you're going to make me read this little tiny crap on your phone. 46. Where do you buy your herbs?
Where do you buy your herbs?
Where do you buy your herbs? And we're not talking about the ones we buy from Meijer, Walmart, Kroger.
We're talking about magical herbs.
Right. Although you can use the ones from the grocery store.
And we totally have.
We totally have. But there's things you can't find at the grocery store.
I buy herbs from many places. Obviously, New Age stores.
Some of them have good selections. Some of them not so much.
Right. I remember when we were at Jackie's store recently, she had a great selection of really, decent looking herbs and stuff like that. I've bought them from like just about any New Age store we've ever been into.
Right. But another good place is something like Foods for Living. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's a chain or if that's something specific to Lansing.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. And I'm not sure if something like Whole Foods has herbs because I don't think I've been in one.
And she means like in a bulk section, guys.
Right.
So by the pound, by the ounce,
right.
whatever.
And there are places online that you can buy them. I know that Crystal does that quite a bit.
Right, yeah. Crystal, last time Crystal placed an order, I ordered those elderberries. And then the next day found the
Cash.
the ones, yeah. So I've got lots of elderberries. So yeah, there's reputable dealers online where you can purchase herbs too. But another place where I like to grow my own if I can.
Right.
So that's always
because you can put the intention into the herb as you grow it, but that's not always feasible.
Mm-hmm. Right. And sometimes it's hard to find herbs or an incense made from an herb. I know that Christopher, in one of my early lessons with this year that I'm taking, you had to have an incense made from the dittany of Crete, and luckily he gave an alternate because I haven't found any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
and so the lesson there is that you can substitute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we do quite often.
So question 47.
47. How did you feel casting your first circle? Silly, scared, stumble, etc.
I think I was scared because it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I really don't remember.
I do because it was Devil's Night or Halloween or something, and the kid was sleeping in the basement and the husband was gone, and I had all the lights out in the house because it was scary for me. I didn't know anybody who was into Wicca. I didn't know anybody who had any kind of anything with the craft, and I was doing it all on my own. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was scared.
So that was like before we knew each other.
Oh yeah, long before. I was 21 maybe. Yeah. We didn't meet till 5 or 6 years later.
Right. Yeah.
Something like that.
And my first experience had to have been like with FBG.
Right. See, I wasn't as scared at that point.
Right.
Right.
So there you have it.
Okay. So 48. What was your first successful spell? Oh, I have to say that my first successful spell that I can really go, yeah, that freaking worked, was I had some issues with a person who I won't get into details, but I needed to separate myself from her, and so I did a spell that involved a cord and cutting a cord, and then I didn't talk to that person for like 2 years.
The one that I don't know if it was my first one or not, but the first one that I remember working. I think we did. I remember doing a home protection spell with stones in an earthen jar, and I still have that. Mm-hmm. I still have that jar, still filled, and it's gone from like different addresses, and I think I recharged it when we moved into the house that we're in now. But I don't remember like when that was. Mm-hmm. But the one that I keep going back to is that darn love spell.
The one that didn't work so well.
Well, the one that worked a little too well.
Right.
So yeah, I think about that one.
49.
49. What is your general practice for meditation?
I meditate when I have time.
I want to meditate daily, but it is next to impossible.
Right.
So I meditate whenever I can.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, are you a day walker or a night comer?
I think that means, are you a day person or a night person?
Huh.
I would assume.
Yeah, I guess that was question number 50. I don't know.
I'm a night owl if I can be. But I don't get much of an opportunity to be.
Yeah, I guess I hit my good stride kind of mid-morning to afternoon, but I will stay up and read all night if you let me. Does that count?
Sure. This is 51. Is it my turn?
Yeah,
I don't even know
it's
where
your
I'm
turn.
at. How and when did you know you wanted to be on this path?
When I was in late middle school or early high school, believe it or not, I found a book on witchcraft in the library at school. And I went, oh yeah, this is for me. And it took me several more years before I really walked the path. But yeah, that was then.
I've always been on this path. I feel like I never picked it up. I feel like my path is my personal journey.
Mm-hmm.
So day one. Ground zero, as it were. 52.
52. What type of pagan are you?
The first thing that comes to my mind is the best that I can be.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch? I'm an okay witch.
I'm in the middle.
If you're going by flavors, I would consider myself an eclectic Celtic pagan.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's the closest.
Because we
for me
use
too.
all different kinds of things.
We use all pantheons.
Right.
We're heavy onto the Celtic, but we use all pantheons.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. I feel like we're breezing through these.
Which is fine, because we got to do a couple extra this one.
53. What candle color do you use the most?
Oh, well, I like to burn a green candle for my my Terra goddess statue, who is my goddess of my household. My green Terra. Mm-hmm. And I like to burn it's kind of an orangish yellow one in the bathroom. Don't ask me why. It just happens that way. Helen's?
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I was waiting till you were done.
Those are the candles I burn the most.
I burn white the most because that's what's always on my ancestor altar. So that's what I go through the most. Mm-hmm. Everything else is kind of a mixture of the other colors. So I try to make sure that I have lots of colors on hand. Mm-hmm. So
it's good to have the rainbow.
Exactly.
Is it my turn to read? Mm-hmm. 54. What area would you like to see your craft grow in? You know, some of these questions are extremely ambiguous.
Where would I like to see my craft grow? I would like... My big thing is I want to continue to learn new things all the time.
Yes, I have to agree with that. If I was to say something I'd like to focus on, I would like to focus more on the runes and rune magic.
Mm-hmm. Right, yes. I would like to learn more about the runes. That's where I'm specifically for this year. I am looking at the runes. I am also looking at broadening my knowledge of angel mythology. Of course, I have my classwork with the Temple of Witchcraft, and so that's centering on high magic. So those are specifics, but I like to think that I'm in a constant state of learning.
Right. You learn, you grow.
Knowledge is power. Right, Mac Brennan? Shout out to Brad.
Yeah, now he's half the battle.
Okay, so that was 54. 55. What is your preference to buy or to make your tools? Oh, jeez.
I think it depends on the tools. I'm not going to make a knife.
I would love to make a knife.
Yeah, but realistically, I'm not going to make a knife.
Right. I mean, I would have to... We've known people who have taught classes in how to make your thame. And especially given the fact that I am a thame-less right now. I would love to make my thame.
Right.
But that person that we know of doesn't live in this area.
Right.
So I personally, I would love to have the knowledge to make all of my tools.
Mm-hmm. And we do make some of them.
Right. And I mean, it's possible. I mean, we've purchased things. Mm-hmm. And it's possible to make. I think we could do just about anything else.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, yeah.
Even like goddess and god statuary, I think we could come up with. I think we could do something.
Right. Although it would probably not look half as good as the stuff you could buy.
Right.
But so I guess the answer is it depends on the tool.
Right. Done.
Okay. 56. What fictional witch book or screening inspired you the most?
The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because the Wicked Witch of the West was so misunderstood.
That's your opinion.
That's totally my opinion.
For me, because I grew up watching the Wizard of Oz, and so it's like I understood the good and bad. Mm-hmm. And for me, I can't read the Wicked book.
Oh, that was so good, though.
But it's my own psyche thing, because for me, the Wicked Witch, and I played her on stage, the Wicked Witch is the epitome of evil. For me.
Yes.
That is...
I can look at the other side of it and go, man, she was so persecuted.
Well, I'm talking about in how she acted within that film. I'm not taking the backstory that somebody else created.
Yes, because I think everyone is capable of doing evil.
Right. And so, for me, that is the personification of that juxtaposition of the two concepts. And so, I think that because I watch that every year, and yes, I will date myself and say I grew up in a time before VHS, so there were certain things that you watched once a year.
Right, and that was one of them.
That was one of them.
Absolutely.
The Sound of Music. Another big thing that really, I think, guided my life in certain ways. The 10 Commandments, something that we watched every year.
I don't remember watching that every year.
I remember watching it every year. There are certain things that I remember. And I think that in whatever capacity, they helped to mold who I am.
Right.
So.
Sure.
So that was 56. 57. Were you alone or in a coven for your first spell? Oh. Go ahead.
I was alone because it was before I met you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was in a coven.
Yeah.
That was back when we were baby witches.
Right.
And we thought that we had to do a spell.
Right.
Whenever we casted circle.
Right.
So.
What is your favorite candle/incense scent for magical purposes?
Oh, gosh. I have been experimenting with incense lately and using more. What's the fairy dust one? Is that what it's called?
Fairy dust?
From Global Scents. That's one that I kept going back to. Oh, wait! No! Kinkaku.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
Joy bought me a box of that incense, and it's got like a cinnamon scent. Well, I guess that's not maybe necessarily for magical purposes. However, but that's one that I go back to a lot.
I like frankincense and sage for magical purposes, and white candles for goddess, god, spirit.
I guess I keep coming back to that kinkaku because I use it in offertory because I light incense every day. And so I use that a lot. But I've been experimenting more too. So
59.
59. Where is your favorite place to go to reconnect with nature?
Outside.
I like my backyard.
Yeah.
2 years ago, there was a big part of my life that I walked away from. And it opened up a whole lot of time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so it allowed me to get outside and start, reclaiming the backyard because it was being taken over. I love being out, looking at the plants and the flowers, and there are things that are coming back. And I like grilling outside. When I go out and grill, I will usually take like homework and read while I'm cooking and stuff like that. I like being outside. It's small. It's a postage stamp size yard, but I really like it.
Yeah, my point in just saying outside is I don't have a lot of time to go outside and sit. I do some work in the yard, but not as much as I would like to. But even if I just walk from my car to where I work, there's trees and birds, and it's easy to just take a moment and take a deep breath and reconnect.
Mm-hmm. So that brings us to 60.
Do you believe in fantasy creatures like unicorns, gnomes, fairies, etc.?
Yes.
They might not necessarily be on our plane of existence or easy for us to see, but yeah.
I think it's important. It's funny that this question is in here today because I was at a family member's wedding last night, and my really close cousin, her family was there, and her little girl is 3 years old. And so the DJ had his light system up and all this kind of stuff. And the lights were doing this thing where they would like splinter out into like all these little lights. They were up on the walls, they were down on the floor. And my cousin's little girl, I'm trying not to name names because I haven't asked permission, but she was chasing the lights like on the ground. Yeah. And so I actually took a little video with my camera of her chasing these, and it's so cute. She's got this big poofy dress on and stuff. She looked so cute, and she's chasing these lights. And so there was a point in the evening where she came over to me, and I said something. She pointed out the lights that were on the wall, and I said, "Those are like fireflies, aren't they?" And she nodded her head, and she was like looking at them because there was like red and green, and they were like the size of like the little red lights that you play with your cat with.
Laser lights.
Yeah, and so I was like, "Those are fairies." And her eyes just got really big because unbeknownst to me, I didn't know until later when I was talking to her mom that she's been all into princesses and fairies lately.
Cute.
And so I was like, "You should try to go catch them." And so she was like, "Come on." So we were going over and we were trying to catch them. And I was like, "I think I got one." And it's too fast, And so it became this like little thing. And then she got her dad to go over with her and stuff like that. And then her grandpa, he actually they had a candy bar type thing, and they had these bags that were there, and her grandpa actually took this bag and a stick and all this kind of stuff to like rig it up as if he caught one and it was moving around in the bag.
Nice.
She was enthralled with it.
Nice.
And I think,
nice.
I mean, we all know that kids are closer to those kinds of things.
They see those things and sense those things until we tell them enough times that it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Right.
And so I thought that was important.
Sure.
To instill
to encourage
that.
Right.
So 61. Okay, wait a minute. This might be the last one. Because we started on 45.
Sure.
We started on 45.
Let's go through 62 because that's an easy one.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So 61 is, do you believe in ghosts or spirits?
Why wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, I totally do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. See, easy one.
Yeah.
And then
62.
62 is, would you ever teach the craft? And The answer to that is we already have.
We already have.
Yes. Yes, so that was an easy one. So
Right.
2 easy ones. So next time we will pick up on 63.
63.
And that
That's
will
awesome.
bring us to the end of it.
Right, and that'll bring us to the end.
And then
so that
the
would be
episode?
that will be podcast 115.
116 will be Yule.
Yes.
And 117 will be
Is the extravaganza.
episode. It's secret. Shh. That might be longer than half an hour.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up for us for this time.
Sure.
That went so fast.
See?
So, thank you once again for taking the time to walk along this path with us for a little while until we see you again. This is Helen.
And Kathy.
And may your travels be safe and your love be plentiful and blessed be.
Blessed be.